Welcome back, class. You will need to get into your big ideas. We're on lesson 7.1. This is page 305. We are moving along with fractions. Now, you will need to use your pencil to shade in. I'm going to use this marker just so that you can see it clearer. So make sure you're on page 305. And we're going to look at this model today. And the first thing it asks is to write fractions that are the same as 1/2.
McGuire to come down to the office. Eli McGuire to the office, please, Miss Travel.
Okay, so if you can see, we have one hole. And we're just going to shade in this half right here. You just use your pencils and shade in. That's half. There's two parts that will make a hole here. Now we can't do that with the thirds, but we can shade in 2 of the 1/4 because 1/4 plus 1/4 will give us 2/4. 2/4 also equals a half. Okay. Cannot do that with 1/5. See, that would have to break it up here, so we can't use the fifths. But if you notice, we can use the 1/6 because 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6, that's going to give us 3/6, and 3/6 can be simplified to a half. It means the same. They're equivalent. 2/4, 1/2, 3/6, they're all equivalent. Now look, we can also do it with 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4 8s also gives us a half. So shade that in, okay? Do this nicely. The sub is going to be looking at these, okay? Now look at the tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10 is a half. So shade that in. 12ths. How many 12ths are in a half? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Can you write a fraction with the denominator of 12 that is the same size as 2/3? And the answer is yes. It can be written as 8/12. Okay. Like I said, make sure that you've shaded nicely. Okay. All right, we're going to move on. Page 306. It says 2 or more numbers that have the same value are equivalent. 2 or more fractions that name the same part of a whole are equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions name the same point on a number line. Use models to find equivalent fractions for 2/3. So you draw models to show the same whole divided into parts. So you've got 2/3 here, 2/3, 2/3. But as you can see, they divided that up, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4 are shaded. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 8 are shaded. So these are all equal, cut into smaller portions, okay? So 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6 and 8/12. So 2/3 is equal to 4/6 and 8/12. You can use a number line. If you look, there's 4/6, here's 2/3. These are equivalent. So it says divide the number line into 6 and label the tick marks. So here's 2/3, which is also 4/6. The fraction that names the same point are 2/3 and 4/6. So 2/3 is equal to 4/6. Okay. So it says to use the model to find an equivalent fraction for 2/5. This is the easiest way to do this. We're just going to divide it in half. Use your pencil. Divide this in half. It's no longer 2/5. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's your denominator. The parts that are shaded is your numerator. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2/5 is equal to 4/10. Okay. At any time, if you need to stop the video to catch up, you may pause it to write down what you need to write down. Now, we've got this divided up into 1/6, but we've got it divided even beyond that. We've got it divided up into 12ths. So this is 1/12, 2/12. You see that? 3/12, 4/12. I'm only going to write every other number so that we can fill them in. 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12. Whoops. 8/12, 9/12, 10/12, 11/12, 12/12. If you have 12 pieces of pie and nobody's eating it, you have a whole one, okay? So if you notice, 1/6 and 2/12 are equivalent. Now, it says to use the model to find equivalent fractions. So let's look at this page. We've got 3/6. Let's divide each of these into halves. Now we no longer have 6, we actually have 12 if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And out of that, 6 are shaded. So there's your equivalent number. Look at 1/5. Let's divide that into halves. And so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's your denominator. 2 is the numerator. It's the shaded part. Okay. 4/5. We're going to divide it into half. Now it's not fifths anymore. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And out of those 10, 8 are shaded. Okay. We've got a half here. If we divide that into half, we have fourths. So 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. Okay. It says use the number line to find an equivalent fraction. Well, let's make these 8s. Here's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8, which equals a whole. Here's 3/4. So 6/8 is going to be. 1/3. We can divide them up into 6. 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and 6/6, which is a whole. 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6. It says write 2 equivalent fractions to describe the portion of eggs that are white. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 6 out of 12 that are white. Or we can write 1/2. Okay? Your friend says the model shows equivalent fractions. Is your friend correct? Well, this is 1 out of 4. This is 1 out of 4. So yes, your friend is correct. it says you and your friend make braided paper bookmarks. Yours is 2/3 foot long, your friend's is 7/12 foot long. Are your bookmarks the same length? Determine whether the fractions are equivalent. Plot the fractions on the same number line, then compare. So 2/3 is here, 7/12 is here. Are they equal? They are not. Look at the lasagna. The lasagna pans are the same size. Are the amounts of lasagna left in the pans equal? Well, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2 6. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 12. Okay. Now, are these the same? 4/12 and 2 6. If I were to take each of these and change these into 12ths, how many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 4/12. So, yes, they are. All right, you run 3 laps around an outdoor track, where 4 laps are equal to 1 mile. Your friend runs 6 laps around the indoor track. Do you and your friend run the same distance? Now, that answer is yes, you do run the same distance, because 3/4 of a mile is how much each of you run. And your friend runs 6/8, and those are equivalent, okay? All right. Now it says use the model on your lesson here to find the equivalent fraction. We'll just divide this in half. 3/5 is equivalent to 6/10. Now watch this one. 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. Okay. Look at the number line. 4/6, or we can say 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3. 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. Okay. Now 2/3. We could make these into 6, like 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, 6/6. 2/3 is equivalent to 4/6. Now this is how I love to do it myself. So let me show you how these work. Find an equivalent fraction. First of all, what do I have to times 6 by to get 12? 2. 6 times 2 is 12, so you do the same thing to the numerator. 1 times 2 is what? 2. Do the same thing here. 2/5 is equal to how many tenths? Well, 5 times 2 gives you 10, so then you have to do 2 times 2 gives you 4. Okay. Now we're going to do 1/4 is how many eighths? So we're going to times that by 2, and that's going to give us 2/8. But Ms. Chapman, what happens if it gets smaller? Well, we're not going to multiply, are we, to find the smaller? We're going to divide. What do we have to divide 12 by to get 4? 3. So we're going to divide the 9 by 3, and that gives us, you got it, 3. All right, which model does not belong with the other 3? Well, here's the third. This is 2/6. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2/5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 4/12. And even, you know, what's interesting, look at the pictures. See a resemblance? And then look how much larger. It doesn't show much larger, but if you look, I can times this one by 2 to get 2/6. I can times this one by 2 to get 4/12. 2/5 does not belong. Okay? Now your crown is 1/6 foot long. Your friend's crown is 3/12 long. Are the crowns the same length? Well, this is how we can look at them. If I times 1/6 by 2, I could get the denominator, but I cannot get the numerator. So they are not the same length. Here's the review at the bottom. 437 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3 over. 5 times 3 is 18 plus 3 is 21. Carry the 2 over. 5 times 4 is 20 plus 2 is 22. 2,215. All right, we got 6,982. We're going to times that by 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Carry my 1 over. 9 times 8, 72 plus 1, 73. Carry the 7 over. 9 times 9 is 81 plus 7 is 88. Carry the 8 over. 9 times 6 is 54 plus 8 is 62. 62,838. And the last one, 708 times 8. 8 times 8, 64. Bring that 6 up. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 6 is 6. 8 times 7 is 56. 5,664. Great job, guys. Make sure you have nicest handwriting. Show this to the sub and have a blessed day.